sitting on the invader. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Give them all praises. Give them all praises. Where the fuck am I going? Who the hell could I be? All this time I've been lost. Vessel trapped in the sea. Chains holding my legs. I just want to be free. Fist picking my throat. Hell yeah, and they know it. Heritage keep going. You can see it in my phenotypes and that damn Indian showing. This knowledge keeping me steady. 45 on my hip and my armor man stay ready. I hit the streets in my Chevy. Blunt burn, smell smoke in heaven. Man, here you go, I got plenty. Prayers up for what's in it. In the land I lost many. Cause every nigga ain't feeling. And every man ain't willing. No D-Bows but Stanley. No heroes for my family. Why the pigs killing us daily? Invader, this is for the invader. Invader, sitting on the invader. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Give them all praises. Give them all praises. Invader, this is for the invader. Invader, sitting on the invader. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Give them all praises, give them all praises. Where the fuck do you come from? Kidnapping our babies, 11 million abortions. Whole country is scorching, baby stealing my portion. Bitch, give me my land back. We ain't signed no contracts, why you wasting all of our trust funds? We don't know who your dad is, but we know who your kid for. Take the food off of my plate, eat that shit with my phone. You invader. Motherfucking invader, this is for the invader. Invader, sitting on the invader. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Give them all praises. Give them all praises. Invader, this is for the invader. Invader, sitting on the invader. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Give them all praises. Give them all praises. Hey ya, 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 hey ya. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Give them all praises. Give them all praises. Invader, this is for the invader. Invader, sitting on the invader. Invader, this is for the invader. Invader, sitting on the invader. Invader, this is for the invader. Invader, sitting on the invader. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Give them all praises. Give them all praises. Hey ya, 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 hey ya. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey ya,
Peace, peace, peace. And now the sounds, Brother Hanu, aka A1 or Socialist 1, whatever you prefer. And just doing a little video, man. I was watching this Chief Cavanaugh video the other day, right? And I don't know how many of you guys check it out, but if you can check it out, I'm gonna play a little bit of it on my video today. Shout out to Chief Cavanaugh, man. You know what I'm saying? The brother, every time I see the brother is somewhere representing who he is. And that's called culture freedom. And that's why I wanted to play this video, man, because, a lot of us, we say we who we are, but we don't live that. You understand what I'm saying? We don't even represent that, even in clothing. You know what I'm saying? You got shirts saying you a savage and all these other representations of the shirts and all this other stuff, but you ain't got nothing saying you're a black Indian or nothing saying you're anything other than that, right? So before I started, I want to give a brother a shout out, man. brother I've been building with lately, man. Brother made a video about some of the t-shirts, man, that you know what I'm saying, that's on the site. And the word is bond. That shit was dope, man. I definitely, like I said, a lot of y'all, be representing like the shirts and everything, and I appreciate that. I definitely do. The brother made a video about it. I'm gonna actually play it real quick before I get into the other stuff that I'm gonna get into. So let me see if I can find the album stuff up there. Um,
Peace out, American Aborigines out there. Halito, Grand Rising. We got a nice bill today.
Indeed, my brother. Peace. That's my brother AP.
So this shirt is
That's my brother AP. Um, I'm gonna play his video. Hold up. Let me. All right. So just let me know if you guys can hear it. Just let me know if you can hear it when I start at AP. Hold up. Headphone speakers. Let me put it. Yeah. Let me put it back there. All right. So I'm gonna play it. Just let me know if you can hear it. Now, in fact, you know what? Let me share the screen. So bugging. Like I said, shout out to his brother, man. Nobody got to go out there time to make no video. And the brother just been showing me the straight love, man, since I've been building with the brother. And I'm gonna, hopefully we meet up, man, soon. Whatever build, get some more information. The brother good with doing the genealogy and everything. Um like I said, man, shout out to the brothers, man. Shout out to all you, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Shout out to everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, as far as like, you know, the little disputes or some of the little comments or we be having in this community, I don't have no problem because I know at some point in time people going, you know what I'm saying, get ruffled by some of the stuff I say, especially being as though that I don't like I'm not holding no bars, man, because I see what I see here. You understand what I'm saying? I see good people, I see bad people, but at the same token, I see people who benefited or benefit from the system that they put us in, and they don't want to go back to the system where it was we was Algonquins or Iroquois. They wanted to stay the system that it is now. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, I see that. You see that in North America, regardless of what people may say or racial divides or whatever. I don't have no mongoloids in my family. I'm sorry if you do. I'm like, okay. I mean, like, but you all right? So who are we representing at this point in time? Are we saying I don't know. Sometimes I get confused with this shit because I thought that I was doing this to show that it was already Negro people here. That's all I wanted to ever do, man, was just to show that it was Negro people here. In that process, I find that the people in the southeast don't look the same as the people in the plains. Even if some of them may have mixed or whatever, the majority of the even outside of the people who might be light skinned, you know what I'm saying, including myself. You know what I'm saying? The majority of Black Americans don't look like Mongoloids. They don't. They just don't. The majority, we take the majority, and you gotta agree with me on this. You have to agree with me on this. The average Black American do not look like no Mongoloid. They do not. And it's not a racial divide, it's the fucking truth because the Southeast Indians are the ones that is that vanished. And they're the ones we're trying to reestablish and find. You know what I'm saying? As well as the other fucking Indians. Because when you go to Peru, them people in Peru are not the motherfucking people who did that shit there. Regardless of what you may say or how you may feel about it. They're not the people who did that. The people who did that migrated into another part of the country. You understand? So we know, you understand? We know, you know what I'm saying? But with that being said, man, you know, like I said, love and light to everybody, man. I ain't got no problems with nobody. You know what I'm saying? Do I rock with the Moors? Hell fucking yeah. I love civics. I love civics. And shit, you can unsubscribe, you can subscribe or whatever you want to. But do I tell anybody what they are? No, I tell you, you're an Aborigine at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? If a person call you a Moor, should you feel offended? Hell no, motherfucking no. Because what's understood should not be explained, and we understand what it is. We understand what's going on. So with that being said, let's get into it, man. Shout out to the brother, man.
Very happy with it, and I definitely had to do a video, man. Let y'all know that listen, brother has some really nice shirts, man. I'm talking about what I got it probably a week ago, maybe. I got it a week ago, and I waited till I went out to actually wear it, and I went to the Indigenous festival, and I was just getting compliments about the shirt. I actually had a brother that took a picture of me and Truth Fierce Truth Seeker, and they were like zoning in on the shirt. You know what I'm saying? So this shirt is just beautiful. Got the peace pipe, got the feather. The only proper to have the feather with the peace pipe, right? With the Q, Indians. He has a lot of different designs, man. So yay. Listen, if you want t-shirts, man, you need to go check them out. I paid about $20-something, and it took about 2 weeks to come. You can expedite the shipping. All right. I'm gonna leave a link down below, so you guys could go ahead and click, man, and check it out. You know, if you want a t-shirt, trust me, man, you'll be there for about an hour just trying to figure out what t-shirt you want. But I tell you, this one right here is perfect, man. It feels so good. Like I don't want to take it off. I'm just be honest with y'all. I'm not just saying that because I like A1. No, you know what I'm saying. I wouldn't do the video if the t-shirt was trash. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. It just feels so good. You can just look at the t-shirt, man. It's really nice, man. Look how soft. Look, it's really nice. It's really soft. It's very comfortable. It's not cheap at all. So the 20, 23, or 25, whatever it is, amount of dollars, it's worth it. So hit the link, man. Go support the brother, man. He's really doing some good things, man. And if not just for the t-shirt, then just for what he's doing, man. He's bringing a lot of knowledge to us, and it's good, man. It's good to see. We have to support one another. All right. Definitely going to be coming with more videos, but I had to drop the video for A1, man. I had to promote this because it's just a good product. For us going and spending all of these hundreds and hundreds of dollars to buy nice things, and it's nice right here, man. And people can know who we are everywhere we go. They see the peace pipe, man. People ask questions. So yeah, I love the t-shirt A1. Thank you so much. And people out there, again, I'm gonna drop the link below. Check it out. All right, promote the brother. I'm out. Love you. One.
Bro, if that shit is dope as hell, man. Shout out to that brother, man. I love that brother, man. Word is bond, yo. And like I said, man, um, you don't have to do nothing like that, but to do something like that is real. Since I met the brother been straight up. The brother been straight up with me about everything we've been building and everything. Like I said, man, it's a lot of brothers and sisters within this community, man, that you can build with and you can learn shit from too. I'm not just a teacher. I'm a fucking student. I don't know. I know more about the history. You got people who have these tribal affiliations and know about some of this stuff, man. And I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm an outsider to it. But at the end of the day, man, you know what I'm saying? They know who I am. They know I am a motherfucking American Aborigine. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. So let me get into this other video that I'm just gonna play with Cavanaugh. All right. It's like I said, shout out to that brother, man. Um, like I said, man, the people who do the work is the people you gotta really be looking at, man. I don't give a fuck if you just show one video, you walking up to one person asking them or bringing that knowledge to them. That is work. That is bringing one. That is telling a person who they are, man. Or when I mean, I'm not saying telling, but that is probably reviving your cultural freedom, man. Because most people know this already, man. I just spoke to another brother when I was walking into the back of my house, and he was out there. He worked for the city. He's an environmental engineer, and when I was working with him, because I used to be an environmental engineer too for my city or whatever. He used to be heavy on the Bible, and I was just building with him and shit. He was like, "Wow, man, I ain't never know that, man." He said, "Yeah, my grandmother was an Indian, man." He said, "We used to say we was Indian He said no. He said, I thought my mother said we was Indian because we had good hair, right? I said, nah, nigga. I said, you can get an afro, right? He said, yeah. So I said, well, I mean, Indians, got afro. So he started laughing and shit, right? So, like I said, what he's building, man. Like I said, that's just small work. It might not be nothing going to the United Nations though, but brother Cavanaugh, man, he got images of them going to. I think that's the image of them going to the United Nations, man. With the nigga, what's his name? What the fuck is his name? Hemok or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, a lot of individuals have problems with the brother Hemok. I had a wonderful bill with him, and I paid $70 towards his cause or whatever. I mean, do I feel like I got beat? No, I don't feel like I got beat. Do I got a pair of Nikes right here that's cheap as hell that I feel like I got beat for? Yeah, I feel like I got beat for them. Do I feel like I spent too much money for rent? Yeah, I think I spent too much money for rent. Do I think I spent too much money for any of my other expenditures? Yeah, I do. I do think I spent too much for them. So I got beat. We getting beat all around the fucking board. But culture freedom, there's somebody trying to revise or help you reclaim your culture freedom. You should never feel offended by that. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a lot that come along with doing this, man. People don't work normal jobs. People need the support of the people to help them to be able to just even be able to pay their fucking their Wi-Fi bill so they can build with people. It takes money to build with people, man. You have to. So if you was able to work for an individual, that'd be the less time you will have to help the people you need. So you would need the people to support you. But we don't think like that. We think everything is a scam. Oh, hey, scamming. Yeah, a nigga polite is scamming. That's a scam. That's a scam. That's a fucking scam. But nigga, at least trying to help you and trying to do something for the people, you gotta reevaluate some of this stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, do other individuals have problems with some of these? Maybe so. But me personally, I look at what's being done that you're not doing. See, if you was doing the same thing and then it'd be a different story. But you're not doing shit. But just commenting on the fucking page and saying what I mean, I'm not saying because you got people who comment who are building and are doing something. So shout out to them. But for the other people who just be commenting that doesn't say nothing, that haven't walked up to one person and asked them are they Indian, like I tell everybody, I got almost 18,000 subscribers. I don't know how many of them watch because I got other videos which some other people might subscribe to. I don't know. But when I'm saying it, for the most part, at least 1,000 people, all right? If 1,000 people go to 10 people and ask them, each of them is they Indians, right? Look at the data analysis we can take. We got people in all different states. We got people in all different states, right? And this is not even just if you don't want to help me with culture freedom. You do this to solidify your own, to do this for your own recognition and your own self-confidence, man. This is data analysis. We're doing data analysis even among us as Indians or us as Aborigines. And like I said, and too, be careful of that word Indian too. I mean, even though some people say they use that word Indian mean heathen, man. That word Indian mean ungodly people, my dude. And people, you know what I'm saying, some of us use it, some they recognize us as that, but fuck that. We could change the recognition. We don't have to be recognized as a label that they apply to you as well. Because like he said, Columbus knew he was not coming to no fucking, because it wasn't no country named India at the fucking time, and we dumb as hell. He thought he was going to India. It wasn't no country named India. India was named Hindustan. So how the fuck was he going to India? Okay, but once again, we've been had. You understand what I'm saying? So like I said, man, the word of the day is called culture freedom, man. Do you have it? And with that being said, let me play this video.
other tribes use different things as far as their eligibility goes.
Okay.
But we happen to use the Dawes Rolls.
Right.
Okay.
So.
And then you 1899 for the people who came over on.
I'm brown. I'm.
Your question.
Okay. So. All right. So what? I mean, how do I qualify to be a member of the Cherokee Nation?
You're saying you're Cherokee, but you're black.
Yeah. Well, I'm. People consider me to be black, but I don't call myself black because I don't look black. You know, black is black. It's a color. I'm not a color. So.
What do you mean?
I'm brown. I'm brown of copper tone. I'm not black.
Okay, but that doesn't. You still have to prove what your race or your ethnicity is by your. We use what is called the Dawes Roll.
Okay.
And the Dawes Roll was established by the federal government, and that was taken between 1899 and 1906 in what is now northeastern Oklahoma.
Okay.
And that was taken for the people who came over on the Trail of Tears.
Okay.
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 And they were able to sign that if they met the eligibility requirements back then.
Okay.
So if they were here and they met those eligibility requirements, they could sign up on there and get a roll number. Now, if we can trace a lineal ancestor back to the Dawes Roll, then you would be eligible to apply with the Cherokee Nation.
Okay, and when was that?
Or one of the other 5 civilized tribes or whatever that might have come over on the Trail of Tears.
Oh, okay, I get that. So when was that Dawes Rolls taken again? In
1899 through 1906.
Okay. So I could trace my family here in the Americas way before 1806, but we
don't need to go back that far. I said 1899 to 1906.
So what happened
We're talking about 7 years.
Okay, so what happened?
We're looking at a 7-year time window.
So what I'm asking is, what happened to those of us who didn't partake in the Dawes Rolls period?
Okay, then you would not be eligible.
You wouldn't be eligible, even if I'm American Indian.
Right. You had to sign up. Your ancestor would have had to sign up on the Dawes Roll. Okay.
Okay, and you said so you okay. So your chief is, I think 132 Cherokee, right? Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So
possibly.
That's what it says, because I've done some research, because I've been trying to connect back to my roots, right?
Okay.
So if your chief is 132 Indian, then what is the other 32? Because if he's only 1%.
We don't have a blood quantum cutoff. We don't have a blood quantum. It all goes back to if you can prove, if you had a lineal ancestor that signed the Dawes Roll. That's what we use.
Okay, so
you can prove that.
So essentially, even if I'm full-blooded Indian, because I'm a full-blood Indian, all right. So even if I'm full-blooded Indian, because I wasn't on the Dawes Rolls, or my family wasn't on the Dawes Rolls, that means I cannot be part of one of the 5 tribes, correct?
Well, if they use the Dawes Roll,
no, we didn't.
Civilized tribes use the Dawes Roll.
Okay.
Okay. Now, other tribes use different things as far as their eligibility goes.
Okay.
But we happen to use the Dawes Roll, yes.
Oh, wow. I mean, to me, that's a little bit, I mean, I know it's nothing that you could do about it, but it's a little bit unfortunate because, again, my ancestors have always been...
That's what happened in the history. That's what happened way back then, and there's nothing we can do about it now. You know, that's what happened back then, and that's what, they had the freedom to choose if they wanted to sign those rolls back then. Some people did and some people did not, but they weren't forced to sign them. They could choose to go on their way and not be a part of the Cherokee Nation, and they could do what, live and be where they wanted to be.
Okay. All right. That's true. I get that from your perspective, but, and again, I just need clarification. So I really appreciate the fact that you're taking the time to share some of that information, to me. So my next question is, are you aware, or do you know that, the Aboriginal people of all the Americas were dark-skinned people.
Can I transfer you to someone else that knows a lot more about this than I do?
Okay, yeah, okay.
I just answer the phone. Just a moment.
All right, thank you. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Registration, Miss David, how can I help you?
Yes, good afternoon. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
All right, cool. So you're the third person I've been transferred to. So I'm just trying to get some clarification, for my to put on the record. I'm Cherokee by blood pedigree. And I was asking, how do you become a part of the Cherokee Nation? So is there any way you could give me some information on that?
Sure. The process for enrollment with the Cherokee Nation requires an ancestor on the Dawes Commission roll. Mm-hmm. And that roll was made in 1902 in Indian Territory, now Oklahoma.
Okay.
And if you don't have an ancestor on that roll, regardless of how much Indian blood you may have, you are not eligible to enroll.
Okay. So, all right. So
we gather to celebrate a life of relentless evil, a sick.
Right. So I mean, what you just told me is straightforward. So I guess my next question, it kind of makes it a little bit obscure because my family they didn't participate in the Dawes Rolls. However, we have been in America from time immemorial. We've always been here. So that means I wouldn't be able to even submit an application and be accepted, correct? Because it's not done through blood. It's done through, so it's done through an organization and not through blood, correct?
That's correct. Yeah, our tribe is, and we have a constitution that we adopted in 1976 and then amended in 2003. And in that constitution, the Cherokee people who were organized at that time chose the Dawes Roll as the sole source of proof for our organization.
Oh, okay. So with that being said, is it safe to say that even if someone wasn't an Indian by blood, okay, meaning that their ancestors have always been in the America, as long as they were able to get on that Dawes Rolls, they are still considered Indian?
Well, they're considered a citizen.
Or they considered a citizen?
Right. The relationship between the United States and the Cherokee Nation is not based on blood. It's based on treaties.
Okay.
So if someone's ancestors were members of the tribe at one time, but for whatever reasons they may have chosen to leave the tribe or forced out of the tribe or abandon the tribe, there's lots of scenarios. The tribe itself would have continued on.
Oh, okay.
And so the relationship between the United States and the Cherokee people is carried out through our government.
Oh.
And so we do have people in our tribe who are not Indians.
Okay.
We just got through with an extremely contentious legal battle with the descendants of our slaves.
Okay.
And so they won a federal lawsuit and are now enrolling as members of the tribe, even though some of them have Indian blood, some of them don't. We don't care one way or the other.
Okay.
What we care about is, are there ancestors on the roll that the core population chose in 1976?
Okay.
And that they are.
Okay.
And
all right, real quick. All right, this shit gonna get real heated in a minute. You gonna hear? Oh my God, yo. What the fuck is culture freedom, yo? You think this shit is a game? Like what is culture freedom, yo? You ain't got no fucking culture. We had to reinvent a culture. You understand? You see these people on the screen right here? Now they may have Indian in them. They may mix with an Indian, but they're not a representation of what the original Indians look like. And that is an argument. But if I listen to what certain other people tell me, then we wouldn't bring this shit up, and we couldn't even do an observation off of this because people. Listen. Let me just put this on. Let me just tell you this, right? You want to know what one of the biggest things that you run across when you tell people about this whole Indian shit is that they can't relate to what the Indians look like. They can't relate to what the Indians look like. That's one of the biggest fucking problems I have been having with this whole thing. Wow, this is the biggest problem we have because the identity of an Indian has been snatched from you, bro. Look on the screen. Look on the screen. And you want me to sit up here and say, I can't ask a question of who the original Indians is and make an observation and say, well, these people don't look like mine. Is this, listen. Is this not important to us here in the southeast, northeast parts of the wilderness of North America? We're not the ones that's told we're not Indians, and every time we do say we Indians, they give us a fake reason. No one telling these people that they're not Indians. And I mean, what outside of these costumes that they got on, right? What would these people be classified as? Huh? Outside of these costumes right here, look, what would these people be classified as? What would they be classified as, y'all? I'm talking to y'all. I'm talking to the audience. Huh? And listen, hey, you know what? People, look, man. You know, I mean, I love all y'all, man. Real talk. We all peoples and everything. But you know, white. Thank you, Joseph Scott. And now I'm saying, now, am I generalizing by saying that? Okay, all right. So look, I'm asking you a question now. Am I generalizing by saying that? This is true paper genocide. Okay, Moonlight Nation. Am I generalizing by saying that? Is it so? Let me ask you a question. Is this at least helping you understand by somebody at least identifying this shit? Is this like look, is this at least like helping us like with our therapy? Like we identifying that something is wrong? That all right, so can we help with, could this be um a therapeutic relief or whatever where we identify like, oh, wait a minute. Look, let's go back to the picture real quick. Let's go back to the picture real quick. Hey, wait a minute. So these are Indians too? Oh shit, so the white settlers was Indians too. Interesting. Very interesting. I don't think no one with any common sense would. And then the ones that they show you in the background are mongoloids. Okay? Or what we assume to be Mongol type of people. I don't know what the fuck you want to call. I'm just tired of the classifications, period. But I don't know what we will be considering these people to be. I don't know. I'm trying to figure this shit out myself, my dude. This shit is confusing. This is confusing, my dude. Take a look at this. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. All chairmen of fucking companies. Okay? Look. Culture freedom, murderers. Okay? Look at this shit. This shit is ridiculous, man. Now you see one brother in the back right here. But he's probably, I mean, they probably all treat him like they all people. But they probably be saying, yeah, you know, he's related to one of the freemen, where they think they real Indians. They think they realer than so. There's no remnants. Y'all done assimilated all original Indians into Europeans, or either the Europeans or they're the Asian type of Mongoloid looking people. Which fuck that. That's what the classification. What people saying. We ain't changing the fact that they're calling us Negroes, and motherfucker, the word Negro doesn't mean Naga. I don't want to hear that shit. It doesn't mean Naga. It doesn't mean that serpent shit. It means motherfucking servant. That's what it meant. Why would they place the name of a god on your ass? Why? Why would they place the name of the god? Now, I mean, if we find a Naga here, we can't find some remnants or some connections to it. But at the end of the day, I'm not 100% in agreement with that. Because the word means servitude. It means subvert. It means you've been dominated. That doomed device has been slapped upside your motherfucking head. You understand what I'm saying? You've been motherfucking. You've been what they said, and go civilize the savage, or go reduce the pagans, means non-believers. Okay, the pagans mean non-believers, meaning you don't have a belief in have a higher power, right? And the Saracens, we know who the Saracens is. If you go watch the new motherfucking Robin Hood. If you don't think Morgan Freeman wasn't one, look what they call Jamie Foxx. Look at the story, how he went back and had his own people get enslaved, and he went back and enslaved his. He had the Europeans enslaved their own people, my dude. You niggas ain't even catch that, okay? Saracens and pagans. Interesting, all right. But is this culture freedom right here? I just want to know: is this culture freedom right here on the screen? Can y'all tell me, is that culture freedom, y'all? Is that culture freedom? Okay, all right, not culture freedom. All right, let's get back into this, man. All right.
You know, we have people on our roll that are on there by fraud. We have, I found probably, I'd say about 5 or 6 families that their ancestors either bribed officials or, you know, whatever the process was.
Okay.
But they got on the roll.
Okay.
And then stayed on the roll for all these years. And so by virtue of our choice to make the Dawes Roll the sole source, they're in.
Okay.
One of those descendants is sitting right now on our tribal court.
Oh, okay. All right.
Every time I see him.
Yeah, I feel you.
It is what it is.
Yeah. So my next question would be, I'm actually, if someone were to see me in the streets without my, you know, my indigenous attire, because, you know, I wear my feathers and my, you know, my regalia, you know, every single day. Now, if I were to walk in the streets without that, somebody would assume I'm black because of my complexion. So you know where I'm going with this. Do you have any people who fit that description that's actually part of your nation?
Yes. You know, we have, as I mentioned, you know, the descendants of our slaves. They are now members of the tribe.
Oh, and they're descendants of slaves.
Yes. You know, we have, as I mentioned, you know, the descendants of our slaves. As I mentioned, you know, the descendants of our slaves.
Your nation.
Yes. You know, we have, as I mentioned, you know, the descendants of our slaves. Yes. You know, we have, as I mentioned, you know, the descendants of our slaves. They are now members. Yes. You know, we have, as I mentioned, you know, the descendants of our slaves. They are now members of the tribe.
Oh, and they're descendants of slaves.
Right, they are descendants of slaves. Now, some of them do have Indian blood because the slave masters, you know, creeping in the slave house and producing children.
Right.
But those children were not recognized by any legal marriage.
Okay.
And so their descendants are not enrolled as Indians. They are enrolled as freedmen.
Oh, okay. And
Let me chop that up real quick, right? Did you hear what this motherfucker just said, y'all? Let me hold up. Did you motherfuckers hear this shit? Did you hear what this nigga just said? Yo, did y'all hear what he just said? Okay. Now, understand this, right? See, what they're trying to do is this, right? They're trying to say that the white Cherokees owned slaves, yo. The people who was working with the federal government was the ones that owned slaves, bro. John Ross and all these people. They wasn't indigenous. They wasn't indigenous to this land. These were the people who claimed that motherfucker that's talking is a European, right? He's telling you, oh, we enslaved. But why did they enslave? What have we been reading in Cherokee in the Kituwat slavery in the Cherokee Nation? What really happened? Everything happened after the Chickamauga War. That's when they said, fuck this. We can't let these Cherokees keep, because a lot of the Cherokees went into Florida and joined what we considered to be the Seminoles or whatever. A lot of them went there and joined with them. You understand this shit? But what's going on is this, right? This, I don't know what he is, but can we call him out? No. Okay. No one's gonna make a video about no shit like this. We just gonna keep showing pyramids. We just gonna keep showing people in America having a jolly good time and shit. But meanwhile, this is the reason why you ain't got no culture. This is the reason why you can't gather no culture freedom, because people telling you everywhere you look, they saying everybody was a slave. But wait a minute, didn't you enslave Indians too? See, my conversation was totally different than Chief Cavanaugh, but I like the response he got from. I didn't get the same response that Cavanaugh got when I did mine. I got two. I got three of them. I got one with the Seminole, I got one with the Choctaw, and I got one with the Cherokee. All right. Now, I did the original one probably about 2 years ago, but I think I might have played it in one of my videos earlier though, but however it go, I already know how these people rolling. You ain't on that rolls, you ain't getting in. So, like, what do that help the people who they classified as colored, who lost their cultural freedom? And meanwhile, you got these people right here running around pretending to be you. Businessmen, people who done benefited from white supremacy, motherfucker who could say he an Indian at night and say he a white supremacist in the daytime. So these are the people who enslaved the original Indians. You the slave because you can't get into the nation, and they done took over the nation. So you still a motherfucking slave. You still a slave. These people probably don't pay taxes. Yo, like, I mean, let's be for real about this now. Do this seem totally right? I don't know. I'm just trying to, like, I don't know. Like, all right, let me sit back, dude. Like, so I'm some type of racist because I'm fucking pointing out the obvious. Okay? I'm pointing out the obvious. These ain't even models. What? Come on now. And these are Southeast. This is a Southeast Indian tribe, man. This is our shit here, man. I mean, even though all that other shit was ours too, but here, particularly within the last 200 or 300 years, this is our shit. And you can't even get into it. You know? You can't even get into it. You can't even recognize yourself as an Indian. They laughing at you. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm just saying, like, right? We could say that people did go, we could say that black people that probably was in the Southeast, they did go migrate out into the Midwest and the plains and Mexico. And, you know, there's already people in Mexico. Well, of course, some of the people from the Northeast, Southeast went that way too, because they knew about that shit. But honestly, we're coastal people. We ain't going into no desert. We're coastal people. We're cool. Even look at in the Caribbeans. Look how the Jamaicans and the Haitians and the Cubans. Look how these people roll. These people are coastal people. We're chilling. We flip flops on sometimes. Even though we wear Jordans and all that shit, we're coastal people, bro. We're not going into no desert, man. My people. Now, if you want to say that, okay, well, so many people can be from some of the tribes that was yeah, but my people is from the Southeast that I can identify now. I can't go all into South Cuba and go into none of these other countries unless I have direct ancestors that's coming from there. All of my people is all up in the South, man. Was it Alabama? Was it Georgia? Was it Virginia? Was it Florida? Was it Tennessee? Was it fucking wherever in the fucking Southeast? This is where my people are from. So I'm speaking from my point of view, and most Black Americans in America have the same exact story. But if we can't point this shit out and get this shit situated, and at least for us to say, oh, wait a minute, man, yeah, this is there. We read the slavery in Cherokee Nation. Do you guys not remember that? Did we not read that, or did we read it? So they got you to assimilate into their fucking culture while they went back and revived your culture. Okay?
And that's perfect. Great information, which brings me to my next question. Because I've done a little research again. You know, I'm connecting back to my tribe, and I'm a full-blooded Indian by blood, right? What that means is, are you aware that in the Americas, all over the Americas, I mean, we know that the United States was established on the American continent in 1776, correct?
Well, yes.
Okay. So before 1776, there was no such thing as the United States. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay, beautiful. So before that, even before the 13 colonies and all that, even before the so-called transatlantic slave trade, are you aware that all the people on the American continent were dark-skinned?
Well, I know where you're going with that, and you know that's the Afrocentrism argument, and we don't subscribe to that.
Well, it's not a matter of subscription. It's a matter of, you know, do you know that it's a fact that the Aborigines of this land were dark-skinned? So therefore, if all the Aborigines of this land, and it's scientifically proven that they were dark-skinned, how is that other people get to claim to be Indians, and then we can't because we didn't take part in the Dawes Rolls?
Well, the Dawes Roll was selected by the Cherokee people, who were the people who owned the Cherokee Nation.
Oh,
we
okay.
are the Cherokee Nation. And
okay, so it's the same thing. So all right. So what is the original name for Cherokee?
You mean in our language?
It was Anionwea, right?
Well, that's the word.
Hey, look, let me tell you something else too, right? You know why y'all ain't on it? You know why most of the people ain't on the Dawes Rolls? What did we read on page 33 of slavery in the Cherokee Nation, the Kitawa Society, right? On page 33 or 34, at the bottom of the page, what the fuck did it say Andrew Jackson said? He said, and I'm just summarizing. He said, it is uncertain of these beautiful people. He said something to this effect, these beautiful people of the woods. But some of them, he said, some of them not fit for the United States or what we got coming. He said, but what can we consider? Is it assimilation or annihilation? And then he said assimilation and what it is. So that means that most of the Indians stayed in the fucking South. They didn't know anything about what was going on in Oklahoma. That's the reason why the original Cherokees are not on their motherfucking, what's the name? Them few thousand freemen, you know how many other freemen it was already? Because they was already calling you free person of color. They was already calling people freemen anyway. So when the freeman wasn't an Indian, the freeman was the freeman was an Indian too. The freeman was an Indian that wasn't enslaved, but they're playing a slave narrative from the African slavery. But you know, here we know about the Indian slavery. See, that this is something that, like I said, that I focus more attention to. I didn't go around the world. I can show mounds and all that. I can do all that. But here, this is a mystery. It's a crime scene. Where are the Southeast Indians, man? Do I need to call fucking? I'm gonna stop fucking with you Aborigines. I'm about to try to see if I can get in contact with Scooby-Doo and his team, and can they fucking help me, man? Because you niggas like, yo, nah, this racism. What is this I'm showing you on the screen here? What is you hearing this nigga tell? Wait till I continue this conversation with what you're going to hear with what he tell Cavanaugh. And this shit is historical. This shit is hysterical. It's hysterical. Hysterical. Okay? The people of the soul walk into the sun. Oh, we worship the sun. Oh, we need the sun. You know what I'm saying? We are the people of the soul food. Come on, my dude, stop it. Come on, bro. They know who the fuck you are, nigga. The soul people are the Israelites, man. The tribe of Judah. You understand? And like I said, man, you know, I mean, it is what it is, man. But this shit is hysterical, may I say. I may not say no more, but may I say this shit is hysterical. And this is why culture freedom is coming out. And this is why I tell you, support culture freedom. Support people who support you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody who have support culture freedom. Love you, man. Love everybody, even people who can't. You do your own hypothesis of this shit, man. If you don't believe the Tantralist one and you think the Tantralist one is lying, do your own hypothesis. We did the observation. Well, these people in these maps look black. This image of this Indian look black. Wait a minute. Was it black people here before the Indians came? And was it? No, there was Africans. Scared. Africans was traveling. Oh, okay. They were the first ones to come here. Oh, shit, really? Oh, we found a skeleton. Oh, this is a Nick. This is look like a. Okay. But none of these tribes have any black in them. And you'll hear somebody play with your fucking psyche and your intelligence, even though we have went beyond a school curriculum on this material on my channel. Whether you subscribe, whether you can deal with the cursing and deal with my fucking illiteracy problems or what, I'm an Indian, okay? And I ain't trying to change it for nobody, okay? I done had 3 or 4 businesses where I had to go in there with, I say culture freedom, nigga. You understand? Culture, motherfucking freedom. These executives cuss like sellers. I mean, these people don't talk. They're rather you talk with your slang and everything, my dude. But you niggas go in there fully dressed, hair combed back and shit, fucking glasses on and shit. You understand what I'm saying? Culture, motherfucking freedom. Let's go.
Word for principal people.
Yeah, the principal people. So what I'm saying is Anianwea was changed to Cherokee. Is there a reason why you guys don't use Anianwea and now use Cherokee?
We do use that word among ourselves.
Okay.
In our relationship with the United States, the United States knows us as Cherokee, and so that's what the treaties say. So we go by what the treaties say when we're in dealing with them.
Oh, okay. So the United States pretty much decided to say, okay, you know what, we're not going to use Anianwea. Let's just create something new, and then we created Cherokee.
Well, that word has also a Cherokee origin, but it's the word Cherokee is an anglicized version of the Cherokee word Ajilaki, which means people of fire.
Right.
And so, we don't mind being called Cherokees. We've been called that for 500 years, so we don't have a problem with that.
Okay. And before I conclude, I've done some research and I realized that no disrespect, and I'm here again just to get information. So I'm not going to disrespect your culture because I think everyone needs to be respected either way. So I'm going to respect that. However, I've done some research and I realized that your chief is John Bill something, right?
Bill John Baker.
Baker, yeah. So I realized, I found out that he has 132 Cherokee.
He's actually 332nds, but that's neither here nor there. He's still pretty much a white man.
Yeah, and I did a lot of research and realized that his ancestors is actually from Ireland and German and everything, but yet still he gets to be a Cherokee. And so how is that even possible?
Well, it's possible because his ancestors were citizens of the Cherokee Nation.
Oh.
Citizenship does not divide.
Oh,
it passed 100% from parent to child. Mm-hmm. And so his ancestors, who actually were Indians, I'm related to him distantly, but his ancestors were Cherokee Indians at the time of discovery. His ancestors were citizens of the Cherokee Nation at the time of the first making of the treaty of 1783, and so they've been citizens of the Cherokee Nation ever since. So we don't base anything on blood quantum. We base it on whether your ancestors were citizens of the nation.
Because the research that I did, it shows that he's not Cherokee he's not even an Indian by blood, period.
Well, he is.
Yeah,
he is an Indian by blood.
But so if he is an Indian by blood, that's what I'm saying is, then he's supposed to be a so-called dark man, because again, the dark-skinned people were the original Indians. So again, where did he get to be an Indian by blood?
Well, his ancestors intermarried with white people. But he looks Caucasian to me, though. That's what I'm saying. When you say white, do you mean that white in the sense of white European?
Oh, because they're different so-called looking white people. So again, that kind of like it's kind of like a word play. You know what I mean? It's semantics. You know what I mean? Because again, he looks white, but he may not be white European or Anglo-Saxon, but he's a white man.
I would say so.
Exactly.
If I saw him walking down the street, I would say, "There goes a white man."
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
However, our tribe is not necessarily made up of just brown or dark-skinned people.
Okay.
The Cherokee Nation is made up of citizens.
Yeah, and I get that. I totally get that, and I respect that. So again, so I guess all the Aboriginals, because would you guys consider yourself Aborigines?
I would consider us to be Aboriginals, and our government is an Aboriginal government.
Okay, so again, and once again, I mean, and it's not even Afrocentric, because do you believe that? First of all, do you believe that life originated in Africa?
Life or
life,
or
human life?
No,
you don't believe that?
No, I do not.
Okay, it's great, perfect. So if life didn't originate in Africa, how is it assumed that all dark-skinned people are from Africa? I mean, when the sun shines all over the world and the equator actually runs between, the continent of Africa and the Americas, and everybody in South America was dark-skinned. So how is it assumed that every dark-skinned person is African?
I don't assume that.
No, I'm not saying you, but I'm talking about in terms of, because you see, when I mentioned that all the dark-skinned people in the Americas were dark-skinned, you said that's Pan-Africanism. But again, we are agreeing that life didn't originate in Africa and all dark-skinned people are not African. So what happened to all the dark-skinned people that were actually on the American continent from time immemorial? Why is that? Because we didn't sign the Dawes Rolls. I know you say it's a governmental thing. So what do we do from there? Do we petition so that could be changed, or it is just something that's ironclad? You have to have been on the Dawes Rolls, whether you are an Aborigine or not, because like I said, it's scientifically proven that all the dark-skinned people were actually in the Americas before any light-skinned, pale, anybody, and the first people on the planet, to be quite frank, were dark-skinned. So that means everybody came from the womb of the dark-skinned woman, and that's scientifically proven. Isn't that a fact?
Well, I'm not really sure where you're trying to go with that.
No, what
I'm not going to agree or disagree with you. No. I just know that my ancestors, which are Cherokee Indians, have been on this continent for thousands of years. And my ancestors are not Africans. My ancestors are American Indians. And the people who are claiming that they are American Indians but are actually black, we don't buy into that. That's just not who we are.
I know that's not who you are, because once again, of course, if people come into a land and they met people there and they happen to settle in, because remember you said your ancestors came, right? So they've been here for thousands of years, but before they came, there were people here. So you see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with this?
Well, I see what you're trying to say.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that I have the facts that, the people who actually call themselves natives right now, they haven't been here for thousands of years. So, and I know it's a he or say you think it is, but we have the scientific and we have the legal documents and historical documents to solidify and prove that fact. So, I get that you were saying that, to be part of the nation, it doesn't deal with blood quantum. It just strictly deals with citizenship. So again, anybody could just say, okay, you know what? Let us just form an organization and let us just deal with the United States, and we could be considered native. But yet still, the people who will have been here again for millions of years, because my ancestors have been here for, I'm talking about, man, I can't even go back and pinpoint a time when my ancestors were not. You know what I mean? So at some point,
because that's what you want to believe.
No, that's not what I want to believe. But you see,
the sad thing about that is.
So what I'm saying is this, right?
You've talked for about 20 minutes now.
Yeah.
So let me tell you what I think.
What you think?
What I think is that African American people have a personal opinion.
Look, y'all ready to hit the bomb? Y'all ready to hit a bomb of this shit? The word, he ain't say the words. Wait till you hear this right here. Look, he ain't say the words. Wait till you hear this shit right here, yo. Like, come on, man. This is okay. So, like, how you? And then let me explain something to people, right? Okay, all right. We didn't start waking up about this shit until probably about like 10 years ago, man. Most people. Okay, some people say they've been doing it 20 years. Some people say they've been doing it longer. Okay, all right. But for the most people, just been waking up about this shit about 10 years ago. Okay. So what's the first thing you're gonna do? You're gonna buy into these so-called nations and think that you part of them and whatever, because you was told you part of them. But this shit is a put together costume party. They put together a costume party and shit. You know how motherfucker take the mask off the nigga? Like, hey, that's a white man. Like you know what I'm saying? Nigga take the Scooby-Doo. He takes the mask off. I'm like, oh, that's Mr. What's the chief of the Cherokee Bay? Hey, that's Jim Baker. He's owner of AT&T Corp. Like, how are you an Indian? Posing as an Indian. Yo, like, and you know what?
That's real though, bro.
What?
That's crazy.
Bro, like a nigga telling me not to like, come on, my dude. Where are we gonna, when we gonna get any? Everybody else getting claimed. The Mongoloids or the people who resemble them, they get knowledge. The Europeans can say they Indians, but then we ain't got no culture freedom. But everybody want to tell us that, well, you know what? We don't know racism. Listen, this is not racism, but we gotta use racism to solve this shit. Okay, what did Newly Fuller say? Okay, never accuse of anyone being a racist until you can prove it. You don't see me. I don't do no hate crimes. I wouldn't ever do anything to hurt any individual, because whether or not they had a knowledge of self like I do, I know that for the most part, people survive and they want resources just as well as I do. I am in full understanding of that. But that don't speak up for people in South Central California or in Compton, where they're firebombing people, where they're using terroristic attacks to attack Aborigines who've been there. People who've been there. These are not no migrants. These is people who deserve the most and utmost respect, because the civilization in which other people are being allowed to come into, we are the people who or at least rattled the cages for them to allow you to come through, even if it wasn't us directly doing it for people to come here. They said, well, fuck it, we need to bring other people here, so we'll have a alternative workforce just in case these Negroes decide again to fucking riot or do what they was doing. You understand what I'm saying? Then we can just fuck it. You ride, you can fire him, bring in another motherfucker, fire him, bring in another motherfucker. So you take a day off work trying to protest. You're gonna get fired, you're gonna get replaced with somebody who just came in from Netherlands or just from any motherfucking where. And if you think this shit is a game, or you think it's fake, dude, look at the data. Why is black people still the largest majority of unemployment amongst everybody? And we ain't even second class. You ain't even a second class citizen, nigga. And you built this shit. You done built the motherfucking, all this shit, nigga. And you see this. Because if you was, you will be on top as far as economics and employment and anything dealing with economics or resources for them. We have no resources. The fried chicken, which was a resource, you ain't got that no more. You ain't got nothing. You can create it, but you don't know how to market it. You don't know how to market it to where, but then again, see, under capitalism, you can just be a biter. See, capitalism's breed motherfuckers who bite and shit, or niggas who say, well, damn, I can take that idea and do the same shit with him, with it. You know, so you couldn't copyright the hamburger because you needed other places to sell it. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's how it works, even with all this shit. But for the most part, you ain't got no culture freedom. You told this nigga, you hear what this guy's saying to him? Like, this shit is like you hear this shit. Wait till you hear the rest of the shit he said in closing. All right. And so in conclusion, okay, let me put it on.
Okay. I think a lot of African American people in this country have a lot of self-hatred. And so you guys want to be us because you don't want to be you. And so, you know, we can't change who you are and you can't change who we are. Okay. Our relationships with the United States are our relationships. Our treaties are our treaties. I totally you want to run around with feathers on and call yourself whatever you want to call yourself. That's your business. No, I totally get that. Hear what I'm saying? And again, I'm not here to debate. It's just strictly a conversation. And I'm glad we're having this because it's a conversation that needs to be had. Because once again, you said that life didn't originate in Africa. So why are you assuming that? Based on what you're saying, it's safe to say that you're assuming that every so-called black person. You asked me, did all life begin in Africa? And you said no. And I said no. So my next question is, do you think that? I asked you, I said, do you mean human beings? So I said no. This is the most appropriate question. Do you think that black people originated in Africa? Indian people originated in the Americas. White people originated in Europe. And Asian people originated in Asia. But all right, so here's my question. Do you think that every so-called black person is from Africa? No, because there are some in Fiji, there are some in Melanesia, there are some in India. Okay. You know, they're all over the place. So what you're saying, you were saying that I'm talking about the black people in the United States. So here's what you're saying. Black people in the United States came over on slave trips from Africa. So what you're saying is that they from everywhere else on the planet except none of them was in America before slavery. Nope, none of them. Well, some of them might have been. I don't know because. Come on, brother. Come on. Either they were or they are not. Because you see, now you're being contradictory. Because if you're saying that so-called black people was on every other planet except America before the slave ship, you're saying that for some reason the sun didn't allow so-called black people to be in America before the slave trade. That alone in itself doesn't even make sense. No, there were no black people here before Europeans got here because they brought you guys. No, but guess what? Europeans didn't bring so-called dark-skinned people here. As a matter of fact, the first slaves on the American continent were Caucasians. That's not even relevant. No, it is relevant. It's absolutely relevant. It's absolutely relevant. You know, my grandmother, who was a full-blood Cherokee Indian, was dark-skinned. Cherokee, if she had permed her hair, she could have passed for a black person in North Tulsa, which is our black community here. So, yeah, there were dark-skinned people here, but not all dark-skinned people are black. But guess what? In fact, nobody's black. Africans call themselves black. We didn't call ourselves black. We are. Okay. Enough. Okay. So you heard what the fuck he said. He said his grandmother was dark skinned, right? He said his grandmother was dark skinned, and if she would have permed her hair, then she would have been considered black, right? That's what he said, right?
That's exactly what that honky said.
You heard what he said, right? But see, they ride, and their ancestors are black Indian, but they hide that black Indian, and the white Indian is the one who able to have the claim and claim it. Now, if you look at the image I'm showing you, right? Now, this is the reason why all I'm trying to do is figure this shit out myself, because I'm trying to figure out. Well, I'm not an Indian then. If these people are Indians and these are what my ancestors, I'm not an Indian. I'm sorry. I don't see that in my family line. Then I'm an African then. So I'm about to delete my channel. I'm about to just start pumping African-centric shit. And that's it. I'm about to go back to being an African, man. I'm serious, man. This is it, man. I'm about to join Lex Vortex, and I'm about to go back and be an African from this point on, bro. I'm dead serious, man. I'm dead serious, bro. I'm dead serious, man.
It's like you might as well, ain't it? It's like
I'm about to go back. and look, and I encourage, if y'all niggas had any sense, I encourage y'all to come with me. Like you know what I'm saying? Look, man. Look, I'm about to go back. I'm about to start talking about Barago Sangi and all this other shit. I'm about to go back showing bones and plates in the lips, and I'm like, yo, these are my ancestors, man. Because I'm sorry. Like this man is telling this man directly that his people came from Africa and where all these different phenotypical people come from. And we sit up here like, yo, are you serious? And this is the person, the lady sent on the phone said, well, let me get somebody on who knows a little bit more about it. But everybody else can be an Indian. He said that the only reason why now listen to this, right? He said Europeans like this nigga need to be. I mean, I'm not gonna say that. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna say that. Excuse that. I'm just saying he need to be edified, man. Because I'm like, first you said John Baker wasn't a European. What do you look like? What do you look like? More likely European, right? And he telling him he not a European. But you know what he gonna say? He gonna say because of the blood. And then like I said, they ain't doing no DNA test. They going by ancestors. They counting. They doing a percentage of how many of your ancestors was this, and that's how they coming up with one. Yo, are you serious, my dude? Like y'all sitting up there counting the percentages of how much Indian blood a person has, because you know that the people that's entering into these nations are pseudo. He just told you don't have to be an Indian to be part of the nation. So that's why you see these people in it. But when you see these people in it, you automatically think they Indian. So any black person who like, oh man, I was watching this guy, Dane Calloway, or I was watching one of the brothers or anybody say something about we was already here, and then I start looking on the tribes, man, I don't have no people who look like that. I mean, my classification is totally different. Like I might have a few ancestors that might. So because of them ancestors, is that the reason why I'm not an Indian then? I'm not an Indian then, y'all. And I'm telling you, if the people I got on the screen right here, okay, I don't have nobody, and I'm just running it down the line for me, just for me. I'm just going to do a ethic, moral inventory and show you what I don't have in my family. Okay, I don't have nobody who look like this in my family. Maybe I might have one person, a relative that was probably mixed with a European in most cases, because like I said, we're in America. So if you was in the Caribbean, it'd be totally different. But here in America, it was either the European or it was black people. You understand what I'm saying? This mixture between these people that they found in the plains and white people and black people didn't happen until after the 1800s. So you would think that, okay, Europeans and whatever the copper colored people assumedly look like that was here. But what we're finding among all these tribes is the same thing. And you hear him tell Chief Cavanaugh directly to his face exactly what it is. So me, myself, I don't want to be part of none of these tribes. I don't, because I have to deceive my brothers and sisters. I have to deceive y'all. You understand? Why do you think they made these civilized? Because what did we read? Who was the people involved? What was the secret societies that was involved in all this shit? See, y'all niggas ain't got no clue of what the fuck is going on. You think this shit is just about, you ain't got no clue. No clue. This shit is a mind fuck to the third. And then other people come with the mind fuck too. This shit is a mind fuck. You haven't seen one black person. You haven't seen two black people in line yet. Okay? Okay, look.
And then, like you say, man, I mean, just even with people having different, lineages in a family, man. Like just because you got one name that says, okay, you from this tribe, you know, you just choose that one name and that's it. Well, what about the other names? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't try to push and personalize what type of tribe you supposed to be in and this and that, because you know, everybody might be part of all the tribes. Who knows? It could be people who, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just about really formulating what we can do right now together. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. Go ahead. I need to cut you off, though.
You know what though? Jai? You know what though, Jai? There's still that very large community that don't know about this, that don't have no clue, that just watching these videos and they are seeing and they look and research Native Americans and they get this. And they like, wait a minute, nah, I'm telling you what people telling me. People email me and I talk to people.
Yep.
I'm talking to people. Like this, I'm on the ground. I'm talking to people. People telling me. So I'm not making this shit up. You got other black people who saying the same fucking thing, that they classify all these other people as Indians and we can't even be Indians and we are the original people. But yet we gotta sit here and cape or whatever you want to call it. I don't have to acknowledge the. Listen, you'll be lying to yourself to say you got people. You'll be lying to yourself if I mean maybe some people. Maybe. Okay, maybe. I'm not telling nobody what they got in their family, but I lived in black communities my whole entire existence on this planet, and I know what the fuck I see with my eyesight. And the last time I've been to the fucking doctor, my shit was 20/25. Okay, even though like sometimes I like with this computer screen, it be fucking my eyes. I gotta keep readjusting myself. But for the most part, before, I don't know about now, my eyesight thing got fucked up by doing these videos and being on the screen and you're watching all this shit. My eyesight thing got terrible. But for the most part, what I'm telling you, that if this is an Indian and this is people who I came from, then I'm going back to Africa today. I'm wrong about everything I'm talking about. Then I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I give up.
Night. It's still raining.
Huh? Say that again, Jack?
Oh, no, I was talking about
yeah. Well, like I said, I give up, man. I give up. I'm gonna be making African videos. I ain't gonna touch no more about the Americans because these ain't my people here. I'm gonna just go to side of the TV. I'm gonna change my name to fucking Kafutu, the Kafutu one, and I'm out of here, man. Fuck this shit, man. The Kafutu one. The Confutu. I'm changing my name to the Confutu one, and I'm done. I'm done with this shit, bro. Because like I said, it got to come to an end at some point in time, bro. And like I said, man, okay, so these tribes don't recognize us. When you look there, you see one person, and he was a slave to them. He was a fucking slave, right? You see one person, even though we read about millions of them being enslaved. But the dude saying because they lying, we know what they did.
How that damn white Indian gonna say, no, y'all ain't from around here. White people brought y'all over here on boats. Like, what the fuck?
Bro,
okay. He tried to use reverse psychology and say, no, you guys want to be like us.
All this shit is reverse psychology, bro. Everything. You heard what he said? He said you running around here with feathers and shit on. He said calling yourself whatever. He said, I know who my people is and I know who your people is. See?
And guess what? But that means they watching us too. That means that Aboriginal shit is getting out to them. They watching us.
He said Afrocentric. He said, oh, you coming from the Afrocentric. Oh, all right, okay. He said, yeah, I'm familiar with this one. This is the Afrocentric move and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they be already ready for you and shit. Like, yeah, all right, I'm ready for this one. Oh, this is the Afrocentric move. But then you start saying to them, see, and one thing, shout out to Chief. Chief, you know what I'm saying? The brother dude was working everything. But me personally, what I would have said was, I would say, well, what happened to the Chickamauga and how you enslaved all the Chickamauga and how the other original original Cherokees got amalgamated and got fucked out of all their land. So you the ancestors of them? No, you're not. The ancestors of them mostly are the freemen because they was already calling you, they was using the word free already. We already see them using the word free on the fucking census already from the gate. From the gate. Free person of color. Indian. Indian. A free person of color is an Indian. He's not an African.
That's a fact. And real
We got
quick,
more.
y'all, for those in the chat, go hit that like button. It was a heavyweight jam. He just came and dropped some powerful shit for y'all. Make sure y'all go hit the like button. Only take 2 seconds.
Indeed. Thank you, my brother. That's my brother. But you know what I'm saying? Like I said, bro. Like I said, I can't find no black Indians. Then I give up, man. I give up, bro. I give up. I'm about to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. You know, I don't know where to go from here. And like I'm saying, if I'm not a Cherokee and this white man telling me I'm not one, and these people right here, the people telling me I'm not one, then how the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, then I'm not one then. Okay? So I don't got no culture freedom.
That's really fucked up though, man. I'm just being real. Like, I know we joking and everything, you know what I'm saying? But like, yo, man, like this man really come on, man. Like, I mean, but we man, you looked at the Dawes Rolls, bro. You know what I'm saying? Even with that, it's still it's like, you know, I mean, come on, man. The dude just said the chief had like 3 out of 35. What the hell type of even numbers is that? Like, man, this is crazy, man. This is beyond bonkers, man. I'm like speechless. I can't even speak over no nonsense bullshit like this after all the evidence and facts and truth we done found, man. Like, this is like, these people just shut the door in your face like, nah, fuck you.
So we ain't supposed to try to figure this shit out? Because if you were, hey, listen, and you people in my chat room, okay, if these are your ancestors right here, then maybe you need to follow me, back to Africa, because I'm sorry, maybe I'm the wrong one. Maybe I need to just like go back over there, just like, you know what I'm saying? Because like even as a light skinned nigga, I'm gonna get rejected over there. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna tell me I'm not. Even I seen niggas who brown skin African tell you're not African, you're not one of us. And there's other brown skin Africans who look just like him. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this shit is funny, it's historical. It's like, yo, you can't go over there because they always like, nah, you're not one of us. And you over here, you see these people who they took your shit, took over. So where you supposed to go? You are a stateless motherfucker. This is what niggas been trying to tell you. You are stateless. Within a state. You're a stateless person, man. Go look it up in your Black's Law and make sure you get the 4th edition. You understand? Make sure you get the 4th edition. Look it up in your Black's Law, get the 4th edition, and deal with it. You understand? Because that's exactly what you are, a stateless individual. Stateless person. You understand? And this is what we got to rely. This is what's going on. You heard what he said. Now, let me conclude it, okay? Let me conclude this shit. All right, he got more. Got a little bit more to go. All right, just listen. Just let's get through this rest of this shit, and it'll be over with, man. I promise, man. It'll be over with, man. I'm sorry to hurt the brothers and sisters like this, man. I'm sorry, yo.
It is torture, bro. It really is.
Yo, I'm sorry to hurt y'all, man, like this.
But
man.
hey, it's true. You gotta show the truth, bro. That's what we
do. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry to hurt y'all like this, man. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, man. I love you guys, man. But come on, let's play the rest.
Yeah, we are brown skin. So I don't
you guys had your own names for each other. I know that because you had your own tribes and your own languages.
So now you are actually admitting that before slavery there were dark skinned people here.
there were American Indian here who.
But no, I'm talking about in terms of complexion. There were dark-skinned people here. We know we are American Indians, but they were dark-skinned.
No, you all are not American Indian. We are.
But you are not
black people from Africa.
Listen, man. I mean, I see the game that you're playing, and once again, you know, I'm just saying that, you know what, the truth will come out to light, and you know, the Creator, you know what I'm saying, will bring everything to light, and the truth will come out. Because the point I'm trying to make is, you telling me that every so-called black person, dark-skinned person, was on the continent except America, and now you are telling me, well, some of them was here. Either they were or they are not. But then you're talking about black. I never said I was black. Black is a color that's really black. I'm not black. I'm brown. You see what I'm saying?
You're African.
So you're telling me I'm African, but you don't even know who I am, right?
I know what you've told me, and
what I told you was no. What I said was my ancestors have been on this landmass from time immemorial. Not at one point I said I was African, but you assume that I'm African.
No, you told me that.
No, I never said that. I asked you, do you think that all dark-skinned people
and
are from Africa?
all this line of stuff that you're telling me, we hear it all the time.
Okay, so I'm lying.
People with your views call us probably about once a month, and
no. You know what? I'm calling, and like I said, that's why I said, I'm calling because it's for the record, because we have to make sure that again we get to the bottom of this, because I know I realize that there are so many different cultures that's here usurping, you know, our identity. And then when we approach them, you know, they tend to, again, evade the question and deal with it from more of an organizational perspective. Okay, well, you know what? This is what the United States said. We are the Indians. Oh, no, it's not what they say. It's what is. You know what I'm saying? But I totally get where you're coming from. It's an organizational thing. You don't have to be an Indian by blood to be part of the Cherokee, because the United States, hey, you know what? They're foreigners. They came here. They fought over, you know, my ancestors. And when I say my ancestors, I'm talking about the dark-skinned people who was on this continent before even you guys came. And they had to put somebody in our place. And I guess it happened that way. But the truth will come out. That's all I'm just saying. And again, I appreciate your time. Thank you. You know, you gave a lot of insight. And I got what I was looking for. So I appreciate that. And again, time will tell. Time will tell. All will come to light. So I hope you have a great day. And look out for us, because we are coming. All right?
Got it right.
All right. Take care, man. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yo, listen. I know y'all bugging over this right now, right? So I know you listened to the conversation, and I'm hoping that you heard the conversation. So you see how the game is being played. So you see the dude, whoever I was talking to, he was getting stuck on, caught up on the whole black, because you see, they know we are not black. So because the United States put us in a category of being black, so you see how I got him, right? Okay, I asked him, does he believe that life originated in Africa? He said no. You see, it's only you so-called black people who believe that bullshit. What they taught you, that life originated in Africa, okay? Because they want to put you in Africa, okay? You are the only people on the planet that believe life originated in Africa. That's number one. No other ethnic group believes that, all right? Now, he agrees that there were, so when I asked him, you see, he was trying to play the game, the semantics with the word. I said, listen, I'm not black, man. I'm not black, I'm brown, okay? All of a sudden, he still want to maintain that I'm black. And he wants to assume that I'm African because I asked him, did life originate in Africa? Now, that's what he's assuming. So I say, okay, you know what? Let me flip it around. I asked him another question. Do you think that all dark-skinned people, what you may call black, do you think all dark-skinned people are from Africa? He said, well, no, you know, yes, some are from Africa and some of Australia and some of, you know, Asia, whatever, all these different places, but not in the Americas. So hold up, you're trying to tell me that everywhere else on the planet had so-called dark-skinned people before slavery, except in America? That's what the dude was telling me. And I said, bro, I'm not black. I said, brown. He said, well, yeah, you know, there was some brown people, but but not black. I said, well, I agree. I'm not black. So I'm asking him, do you think that you are an Aborigine? Well, yeah, we are the Aborigine nation, but it's a fact.
scientifically proven, historically proven, that all dark-skinned people in the Americas, Aborigines are dark-skinned. So how can you be an Aborigine? But then here's the thing. When I ask about the Anion-Wea, they had to change the name from Anion-Wea to Cherokee because you see, Anion-Wea is the organic. That's where all the dark-skinned people, they were part of that tribe. You feel me? So the U.S. government had to take that away from us, and now what they had to do, they have to create an organization called the Cherokee Nation. You peep the game, because they're not doing it by blood. It's what the United States said. The federal government, it's a contract. Hence, their chief could be foreigners from Asia, wherever. Because he didn't deny that his chief is a so-called white man. I was like, hold up. When I look at that dude, he's a white man. And the majority of y'all got the same complexion with him. Oh, well, he is Indian. So I was like, hold on, how could he be European and at the same time be an Indian when you're telling me in his family, he came from a family with Indians? And when I did my research, the man has no Indian by blood. So that's how they are getting away with what they are doing to us. It is not by blood. They don't care if you're full Indian by blood. They know we are the original people they call the Indians. But they set up a system where it's not by blood. So they talk about the 1902, Dawes Rolls. Well, if you're going to prevent us from getting on the Dawes Rolls, how are we going to be on the Dawes Rolls when, you help the colonizers, okay, to chase us out of our land while we over here fighting for our lives, fighting for our land, doing everything else we are doing? Do you think we had time to go and sign up for the Dawes Rolls? And besides, a lot of our ancestors knew that it was a bunch of BS, so they didn't want to sign that anyway. So here you are. They put y'all on the Dawes Rolls, okay? And now we are being excluded because we were not on the Dawes Rolls. But even if you are, listen, man, y'all heard the conversation, man. Okay? And that's why we need to stop playing these games with these people. And that's why I always tell y'all, listen, man, you need to stop just talking. All the talking. It's time for some action. Okay? It is time for some action. Period. Because this.
All right. Like I said, man, brother, he went and did it. Like I said, but for the most part, you already know what it is.
Yeah, man, that's I'm glad he did that, man. I'm really glad he did that, man. You know what I'm saying? Because people ain't really peeping game, because a lot of people ain't really been out here like that, like you say. A lot of people ain't really even experienced, some of the lives that, that we may have, you know what I'm saying? You could tell, I could tell in the chat some of the people who kind of grew up like me and who didn't, you know what I'm saying? But I bond and I embrace everybody, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problem with nobody that got a problem, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. If you ain't disrespecting me or my people, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, we should all get along. But, that right there, man, that's what it's about, man. Like, if you're going to stand up, some people just going to stand up a little bit harder than others, and I think that's just the level that some people got to understand, you know what I'm saying, before we try to embrace one another, because some people just really that strong deep, you know what I mean? So.
For the most
part. How it is, big bro.
Yo, yeah, he was calling them out, but that's what it is. See, they go by, if you're being classified at, even if you deny it, you're still at. Like, even though you have a right to self-identify, and he's telling you people in the nations are not Indians, and he telling you that they're not, but he not in no defense of them, and he's not in no defense of whatever his classification truly is. Okay? But he claimed because he can live to be an Indian. Like I said, most of the Indians stayed in the southeast. This is a fact. This is the reason why you ain't on none of them rolls. It's the reason why you ain't on none of them rolls. You ain't on none of them rolls because you was in Georgia, Virginia, or DC, Maryland, Delaware, Jersey, New York, Chicago, Detroit. You was there. You had no way to get there to sign up for nothing. They ain't had no internet registration, my dude. That's the reason why you ain't on none of them rolls. And then when you get there, you're like, oh, you're a free man. No, I'm not a free man. I'm a real Indian. No, you're not. And that's the game they play. They don't recognize you as that, but we supposed to sit here and play this fucking game and say, well, I don't know what the fuck you motherfuckers want, man. I don't know. Like, what do you want? You want to like what are you subscribing to, man? You can't subscribe to both things at once. Like, you really can't. Like, what are you subscribing to? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it because like this brother he's saying the same shit I'm saying. I thought I was under the impression that all the people in this continent was of a certain color. That's what I thought all the people around the world was. And when I was studying Pan-Africanism, that's what we was talking about back then. You understand what I'm saying? But when it got here, we didn't go there. You know, that was savage land. Even though you got all these exotic plants and the works, man, the works. You seen the buildings and stuff that was here, man. You seen it, the works, bro. We got the works here, bro. We got the motherfucking works, bro. So the Indian, yeah, and they always speak in first person, even though that they came to the South first, and all them atrocities was in most of the people in the South. They always speak in first person and say that even though that your fucking family live in all them places where all them wars took place, your dumb ass talking about some damn Native American, and you never even took a look around like, wait a minute, I never even seen a Native American around here before. Where they at? Oh, they all went to Oklahoma. But no, wait, you forgot one thing. Andrew Jackson said that the rest of them could stay if they gave them jurisdiction and assimilated into their society. You forgot to mention that though. Oh, you didn't know? Oh, because you're not well studied. You're studying a curriculum that someone put together to personally direct you, to deceive you. Nigga, I'm downloading the science of the gods, my dude. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? You better go check out my brother, the Duke of Tears. I don't give a fuck what he said about Aborigines. You better study it from a historical aspect because there's a lot more to the picture of this shit than just the Americas and just saying, all right, well, we was here. We was going every motherfucking way. It's the reason why they find these boats over here. You got boats that's from the fucking almost 1,000 years ago popping up, but you can't find one slave boat. How the fuck is that? And then like Dane did the video, they found these crackers. They went through all this. All of this was funded to personally psychologically affect your mentality, my dude, to keep the narrative going. All of this shit has been real African town. What? You know what? It sounds like a good idea from this point in time. You know what I'm saying? I'm going African town.
Yeah.
So you niggas want to stay here and keep claiming you Aborigines? All right, I give up. I'm going to Africa town. You know what I'm saying? Because either I'm right or I'm wrong. So it's no in between. No matter how graphic the content of my videos may get, or how much you may think that I dislike. I don't dislike nobody. Yo, I'm an energetic individual. I build with mostly all individuals. You know what I'm saying, for most part. But I know what it is. I know what it is. Oh, if it comes down to it, my dude. If it comes down to it, I know what it is, man. I already know that people who come here, even though they'll be your brother until it's time for them to have to. Listen, they your brother as long as the government ain't saying, well, you got to go back. Well, as long as you're not saying nothing about that, like, yo, man, look, you might be cool with me, but the fact that certain individuals is coming here, they're affecting the economy amongst my people. You can't speak upon that because then you're a racist. And our economy been affected since the early 1900s. We never got a fair opportunity at nothing here. Every time you built something, they come tear. That's like, you ever been in school or you build blocks and motherfucker come knock the shit down, you be mad as hell. And then you rebuild and they come knock it down again and you be mad as hell. And then eventually, like, fucking, I ain't, man, listen, man. And even if you fight the individual, you still like, man, this nigga just don't get it. Like, fuck it. I ain't rebuilding it, man. You know what I'm saying? And this is a point in time to where, you know what I'm saying, you have to be forcibly assimilated because there's underlying plots for you not to achieve or you not to be on top. They know, if these people here was fair, they know that the majority of us deserve reparation. They know the majority of us deserve better living conditions. They know what the fucking war on drugs. Just on that preface alone, that is the ultimate racism. That right there is worse than dropping a motherfucking Agent Orange or AIDS. And then remember, we had AIDS to go along with it too. Okay, we had AIDS to go along with crack, the crack epidemic. So imagine how many you go back and see how many people died from AIDS and how many. They'll tell you how many black people. There's always black people with these diseases. You'll see. Something in 100 millions of people, my dude. It's up in the hundreds of millions, yo. I don't know exactly how many, like if you break it down statistical wise, how many exactly, but that would probably be some excellent statistics just to get an idea. Like I said, none of this shit is correct, but if you're trying to deal with numbers just to come up with some type of you're trying to get some type of information that's going to gather that's going to conclude or connect with the research that you already got. So you look it up, you see, oh shit, damn, in the 80s, 12 million black people died from AIDS. What?
Hey, send bro the link. He want to come on.
Who?
Corey Mayo want to come on.
All right. What is matter of fact? Can y'all do it? You can see. You know how to do the link?
Now you got to copy and send it to me, then I can send it to his Hangout.
All right, hold up. Just, you know what? Just give me his email. I do it like that. I ain't want to say his email loud, but I'm quite sure people got it. What is it?
Cormel, put your email in the chat, bro, because I don't know it right off the top. I know.
Where Jag at? Jag, you got Cormel email. What's Cormel email?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the back right quick.
I can't get it.
Go ahead. Oh, you got it right there. Put it on. I think it's CURIMEO.
Hold up. You know what? Hold up. I'll stop sharing the screen. Wait. All right. Hold up. All right. You say that again. What is it? You said C with K. Is with a K.
Nah,
K.
I think it's the C.
Oh, you gotta say it. C-U-R. Hold on, let me see if it come up. The tell put it. I ain't gonna try to pronounce it, spell it. I know how he spelled it on online, but I don't know how his email probably is. So tell him put it in the chat room. When y'all see in the chat room, just let me know.
I'll text it to you right quick.
All right, yeah, do that. But yeah, for the most part, that's all it is, man. See, us here in Northeast, Southeast, we got a situation like no other. Like, and racism is all down, is all behind all of this shit, my dude. And it ain't just racism; it's just it's a fight for resources. That's what it always is. So if it's just one group of people or fighting for one resource over another group of people, we would seem that one race want a race to get to the resources the fastest. So that's why we say racism, okay? To break it down to its total compound. So most people come here to North America to join a race for resources. Am I right? And it's a fucking race because they always want to be the first person to do this, the first person to do that, the first person to do this, first person to do that. Am I correct or not? Is that not what been going on? And then every different ethnicity joins the race for the resources, right? Is that not what's going on, or is that not correct? I don't know, man. Maybe I'm the one wrong, man. But yo, like I said, I real talk, yo. We could have this discussion later on. We send a brother the link. We could do a live. We could talk about a lot. Like I said, I don't have no problem with nobody, man. But it's racism all within these tribes, all within these individuals, and us as individuals, like we looking like, yo, this is the reason why black people can't admit they don't want to admit they Indians, because they think Indians are white people or of a different ethnicity. Is that not what's going on? So I gotta honestly, y'all. I wanted to keep it to 10:30, y'all. I told AP I was gonna keep it to 10:30, but just listening to that shit, I had to go longer. I gotta go run to the bank, and I got some important business I have to do from there. Really, I would keep building, but just like Tuesdays and Fridays, I gotta go supervise my employees as well. So I got some things I gotta do today. All right, so I will be back home in about an hour or two. And like I said, when we come home, I come back, we can definitely have this conversation. And what I'm gonna do is I'll make a part 2 of this, because I'll play my recordings that I got. Okay? I'm gonna play my actually recordings. And I am not, if you think I'm bullshitting, I show you one of them right here. Look, you wanna listen to a little bit of it? Look.
Your party's extension, please dial it now. For office closures, press 1. For tribal police, press 3. Please hold, and an operator will assist you. Yakuki, and thank you for calling.
Hey, good afternoon. How you doing? I'm trying to find out whether I got some type of connection to the tribe. How would I go about doing that? 'Cause my grandmother said she was full-blooded Choctaw. But I just I keep running into problems as far as trying to get history or just do research or find out. All right, so I just a snippet. You already know I went in. So and honestly, once you start they know. See, once you start implementing the Indian slavery, then everything changes. Their whole conversation, oh shit, you ain't supposed to know about that. What do you mean? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know more Indians was enslaved here. So when you say slaves, what slaves are you referencing? What happened to the Indians that was enslaved, that was classified as colored and Negro? Then they get quiet. See, then they get quiet then. Oh, shit. Oh, you ain't supposed to know about that. See, when they tell you slaves, you think African automatically. You can't do that. You got to think Indian automatically, because the Indian was the first slaves. What have we read? Who did Columbus say he enslaved first? Who did Columbus say he could enslave first? Who did the English, the Dutch, the French, and every other motherfucker who came here? Who the fuck did they say they can enslave first? But we reference it as an African because we've been fucking brainwashed to believe that. So with that being said, we'll do this later on. Subscribe, like, Culture Freedom, Hidden Cultures of America is coming. Documentary, support it. Okay, support it. If you feel as though you in need to support it. Understand? So with that being said, you already know where to go. Support yourself, cat. Listen, at the minimum, if you're not running around here with feathers, the black Indian shirt will be a wonderful representation, like the brother said. You understand what I'm saying? When we see that shit, niggas like, oh shit, they know. what we gonna do? They know. Look, yeah. So with that being said, brother AP, I mean, I ain't going. We're gonna shut y'all. I gotta get up out of here or whatever. But for the most part, man, we'll be back later on. We do something later on. Love and light to everybody. No love lost to any individual, man. Because at the end of the day, we brothers. I respect everybody. I respect their point of view, and everybody has a point of view. But I'm just saying, from me seeing racism and how it is here in America, to have these people tell you after your grandmother. So my grandmother lied to me then. So my grandmother's a motherfucking liar then. So now how do I supposed to film then? So I supposed to feel. Fuck is that? So my grandmother's a motherfucking liar then. My grandmother, what I learned today is, if the Indians that I showed you are Indians, my grandmother's a liar. And I'm gonna call Sinetta, man, and tell him I was wrong about everything, man. Him, Garfield, fucking the Armin Ross Squad, all these other brothers, man. Like I'm sorry, I was wrong, man. I'm sorry, yo. I was wrong, yo. I was wrong, man. We are Africans, man. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. We are Africans, yo. And everything that I said, you know what I'm saying, has been wrong. I've been wrong about everything. You know, obviously I was just looking at it from what the images that I seen, but obviously the images that I seen was not an Indian or was not a so-called what we consider to be a Negro. You know what I'm saying? Like, real quick, let me see something. Like, I mean, before I get out of here. So, you know, I was wrong about everything I said. And just like the brother told me when I called the Virginia Historical Society, he told me that this image right here was an African dressed up as, I'm going to show you one picture real quick. Let me see something. This one right here. He told me this was an African dressed up as an Indian. You understand what I'm saying? So this is what the Indians here in Virginia, North Carolina, and everything, according to them, look like. But he said this is an African, so I don't know. Okay, but this is, and if this, all right, so let's say if this true, let's say, all right, this is not an African, and this is what the Indians in the Southeast look like. These don't look like nothing like these people that's in. He don't look like a Mongoloid. He don't look like none of the Europeans. So I don't know. I don't know where to go from this point on. But like I said, I'm about to change my name to the Confutu one. And I'm going to be pumping pro. We're going to talk about them 320 pyramids they got over there. We're going to go in depth about that shit. We're going to talk about kings, king, whatever the chiefs and all. We're going to talk about all of the pharaohs again. And we're just going to go back over that once again, all right? I mean, I don't know.
What kind of, you gonna get you a new dashiki and shit?
Yeah, man. Yes, my brother. Yes.
Just do a whole review back on Africa.
My brother, I'm converted again. My brother. Join me on my channel, the Confutu one. Okay, my brother. But for real, I mean, like, come on, man. The chain of what we heard is that not hysterical? Like, is that not worth a fucking laugh and a cry at the same time? But with that being said, man, I'm out of here, man. Subscribe to the channel, Culture Freedom, hit Culture America, Black Indians. And with that being said, I'm out of here.